Are we just gonna have to have the audio and just have just an image?
Yeah, it might just have to be because that whole first part I think was totally blurry.
Boo!
What do we have here today?
We have the highly acclaimed, although that might be just marketing, KBS, which I am not sure what KBS means, but it is the maple. It is the Maple Mackinac Fudge. So we're sticking with maple syrup. Well, actually, this one kicks it up, and it's maple syrup and chocolate aged in dark bourbon barrels. And it
Stop shaking it.
Shake my butt. It has a bit of a fun story on the back.
Michigan didn't invent old-fashioned fudge, but it was perfected here. We pay tribute to this time-honored tradition with KBS Maple Mackinac Fudge by amplifying the rich chocolate notes of KBS using Mackinac Fudge coffee, then adding maple syrup and aging it in oak bourbon barrels. We've created a bold new take on our barrel-aged classic, one that could only have originated in Michigan.
I have heard good things about Founders, so let's give it a shot. It certainly smells chocolatey. It's got that kind of like coffee.
Oh yeah, it smells like freshly brewed coffee.
Which Katz hates coffee, but she also hates beer, so we'll see.
I mean, it smells nice. It smells like a good coffee.
Yeah, maybe I just don't brew the best coffee. Which I probably don't. You're a freaking bot. You don't even like coffee.
That's a bit bitter. It's a bit more bitter than I like. I mean, if I liked coffee, it would be a nice coffee taste. It has a bit of the maple in it. It does have that nice dark smoky chocolate aftertaste though, which is the fudge part, I think.
I like it a lot, but I still think, like I said, I am obsessed with maple syrup. So when I saw that the first word that appears is maple, I was expecting the maple to be what really kind of like jumped out at you. I don't know what Mackinac is. I guess that's the type of fudge. Oh, maybe Mackinac's a place in Michigan or something. Yeah, because I definitely taste the fudge, and it is a very nice.
Yeah, it's like I'd say it's more of a coffee, chocolatey fudge. Primarily coffee, sort of chocolatey.
Yeah.
Definitely fudgy. But I'm not really picking up the maple as much.
It's kind of like if you brewed coffee in a jar that used to have maple syrup in it.
It doesn't taste chemically, which is nice. It tastes fresh.
They use Mackinac Fudge coffee, I guess, to kind of brew this, and then they add maple syrup and they age it in oak bourbon barrels.
If you drink it a little bit faster, then you can just catch the maple in it.
I gave it a 4 because it's an amazing beer, but, and again, I don't want to be unfair and make maple a requirement, because that's why my last beer was a 5, but because it specifically said Maple Mackinac Fudge, which again, I haven't had Mackinac Fudge, this is probably exactly what it tastes like, because this is very fudgy beer, but I was so excited to get maple, and then I just got more fudge and a bit of like a coffee kind of taste.
It's fudge coffee with maple syrup and chocolate.
I don't even know, there's so much words on that thing.
It's a flavored stout. I mean, that kind of makes sense. It's nice that it's not too bitter, but it does have that like coffee bitterness that I don't like.
I like that a lot. So I think this is amazing coffee. Don't get me wrong. I'm sorry, it's an amazing beer. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it's high. Maybe it's high alcohol content's getting me a little.
Yeah, it is 11%.
I'll give some understanding of a little less quality based on the fact that it was released this year. Sorry, we're a little sluggish today. It is Thanksgiving. Happy that if you celebrate it. So we've been eating a lot of garbage.
We haven't been eating that much garbage.
We had pie. We had
yesterday.
Yeah, but you eat garbage like you don't even know how to weigh it because that's all you eat.
Well, I do know how to weigh this beer, which is a 3.5 for me. Mine's more of a feeling than a criteria.
Yeah, it's a way of life.
It's a beer gut feeling.
Do you consider that a high score for you? Because you don't like beer much.
I think it's...
And you don't like coffee much.
I think that anything that is a 3 is a pretty meh, and then anything below 3 is a pretty ooh.
Okay.
So 3.5 is a little bit better than that. I think, it's a good beer. It's like a Chimay kind of, or however you pronounce it, but like a Chimay is clearly a very good beer. This is clearly a good stout, but it's just not my
cup of tea.
Cup of coffee.
I hear you. I love coffee. I love fudge. I love maple.
I'm actually not a
I love
huge
you.
fan. I'm actually not a huge fan of fudge either.
What?
Really,
Well, even that maple
really-
fudge we had in Canada, what you're on?
yeah, I'm really picky about my fudges. Like
But you're
if
also a
they're
buck.
too sweet or like too, I don't know, it just there's some kind of sharpness about them that I just doesn't sit well with me. Even though I do
You
love
just get
sweet
like,
things.
well, do they have like good fudge in California?
No.
Yeah, that's probably it. Like back in the, we have those like
That fudge that we
old
had
school
in Canada
New
was
England.
good.
Yeah, I feel like fudge is. I mean, obviously fudge is probably a European thing, but it's more like in the U.S. more like an East Coasty. These like New England little towns. I guess
Yeah.
Canada too is more that
We have it
eastern part of Canada. They have those like really these small little candy shops that just sell like really old school like ye old fudge, ye old fudgery.
We have
Yeah.
I mean, we have fudge we've had fudge from Apple Hill.
This isn't a fudge review, it's a beer review.
It's a good beer. It's just not my cup of coffee.
Is it your cup of fudge?
No, it's also not my cup of fudge because it's a coffee flavored fudge.
Cheers from the Boof House family.